Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. How are you, Serena Alonzi? Can you hear me? Oh shit, I can't hear you.
Oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
Serena.
I just realized I was on mute. I'm so sorry. Can you
Oh,
hear
how
me
are
now?
ya? Yeah, I can hear you now. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's starting to begin the beginning of summer here in Melbourne,
Nice.
and we're starting to get some nice weather. So I thought I'd sit outside and talk to you all today. And what's happening with you there, Serena?
Um, I don't know, not too much. Same old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how's the weather over there?
it's good. It's cold. So it snowed a few days ago, but now it's back to just normal, no snow. So yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Christmas is coming, so you get
hmm
to have the white Christmas. Sounds
Yeah.
amazing. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I can see you all there. Crypto Heartbeat, check my pulse. Doug, Taryn, Alan, how you doing? Hex Hoddle, Mango Junkie, my boy, DMT. Bit Finesse, good to see you. Ross, good to see all of you. Pa Hexlet. And yeah, speaking of Pa Hexlet, we have some lovely ladies coming on the show today. You look at the crypto market at the moment, it's down, but we're not. We're still good to go. So let's bring on our guests. So, hey, Claire, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What's been happening?
I have been working on an NFT project, as you can see. What do you guys think?
It's awesome.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. And did you tell everyone about how it came about, Claire?
Oh, there's a backstory to the backstory, but essentially, with my art teacher, I painted a portrait of Richard Hart, which I'm trying to send to him. Richard, I really want to send you this portrait. It's amazing. It's right here. And then I thought I'll do an NFT project to spruik me trying to get this portrait to Richard. And yeah, I've been working with an AI genius, Robert McNaughton. You guys probably seen his stuff on Twitter. And I give him some themes and some ideas based around the portrait. And essentially, this is the first one, so there's more to come. So I'm excited to show you guys at a later date or the rest of them.
Very nice.
Fantastic. And that's an amazing painting that you did. So are you a beginner, Claire? Because to me that didn't look like beginner's work, that what you did.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like when you find a master teacher, you can essentially be a beginner and look really good. So a lot of my work would not look like it does without my teacher. So her name's Yana Vodasol-Barefi. She's based in Perth. She is an absolute, she's coming to the end of her career, which is quite sad that she hasn't made it big internationally because she should be big. She's one of the best portrait artists I've ever seen. She's a surrealist. And she's a master teacher. So yeah, I can't speak about her highly enough, and I'm a bit sad that she's going to retire soon, and I'll have to do it by myself, or mostly by myself.
Oh, but you're doing a great job, and I thought that painting was amazing, and it's really cool that you've made something out of it. You incorporate it
Yeah,
into crypto.
thanks. I can't wait to show you
And if
guys the
you're
other ones
watching,
because it's just Richard, take your painting,
Richard,
okay? I can send it to someone you trust, and then they can send it to you. Please,
awesome,
love you,
awesome.
Richard.
Let's bring on a few other of our guests. Hey, Hexy Quinn, thanks for joining us. Good to see you. It's been so long.
I know. Hi, guys.
Hey.
What's been happening?
Oh, just enjoying my freedom. No, just just been catching up with the community. Just hanging
Yeah,
out.
awesome. And are you doing any streams at the moment? Are you streaming with anyone or doing
I've just
anything?
I've gone on F and Hangouts a couple of times. I went on Crypto Heartbeat. I'm scheduled for Corey Costa and Crypto 7. So just hanging out.
Busy
Keeping it
lady.
real. Nice.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right, we got our last guest today. Hey, Georgia, how you going?
Hello everyone. Are you ready for the holidays? I am so
No.
ready.
No.
Thanksgiving, it's over. It's time to put up the Christmas tree or whatever you put up and to celebrate the holidays. You know what, class? I love that painting and I want to buy all of those NFTs. I want to own them all. Because
Wait,
I
I'm gonna
saw
scratch
that.
this
It
chin.
was amazing. But, I'm a little bit jealous. So I started with my own NFT. I started my own. Look at this, guys.
I love it.
Oh, I am going
It's
to
so
tag
cute.
you. I'm going to tag you in
Got
the
a little
Elon
comeback
Musk
right here.
tweet
I
that says never to pick up a pen
isn't
ever
that a
again.
masterpiece? So I'm gonna sign it
That is a
and I'm
piece
gonna
of
put
shit.
it up and
I love you though.
Did you say that's a piece of shit?
I am from Australia. I love you though. I love you, and I am still your maid of honor. But no,
You are.
I'll teach you
But
how to paint.
I think I'm
I'll teach you
gonna
how.
have to next time I see Richard, I'm gonna have to talk to him about what's the future. Maybe we can take a little break in between the 15 years so I can focus on something else or someone else, and he does.
Richard, let her out of her cage. If she wants to learn how to
Yes.
paint, she can. She can't be at your house cooking you dinner every single night. It's just not
My
right.
heart is in Korea, right? I need to go explore the world.
She has these dreams of Korean men, and yeah, she could
Yes.
cook for someone else. Take advantage.
How are you guys doing?
So,
It's amazing to be here
yeah.
with you guys.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming, Georgia. You're always a favorite on here, and always great to see. I'm glad you could come. I mean, the crypto market is looking like shite. With what's been happening, it's so much FUD going on and so much drama. So it's good to see we still have some soldiers with us. Of course, we're all here in all the chats here, so it's a great turnout today. So, basically I've looked at what's been happening in the last month just in crypto, and it's just been one thing after another, as you guys all know. Hey, thanks, Ellen. Thanks for the super chat. That's lovely, ladies. You look lovely. You make the chart go up and to the right. Oh, you're so sweet. So sweet. So, everyone knows what's happened. So basically the FTX debacle. It's basically sent people running for the hills. There has just been there's been so many people lost money. It's made crypto really look bad all across the world. Even here in Australia, I mean, I don't often watch the news, but I walked past the TV the other night and the newsreader was saying, and FTX Australia investors are wondering if they're going to ever see their money again. And I thought to myself, well, no, they're not. They should have listened to Richard Hart. And I should have laughed because it's not funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny. But if you've noticed how long Richard Hart has been saying, get your money off exchanges, preaching self-custody, exchanges, they can go down. And even Elon Musk jumped on Spaces. Did anyone get in that Spaces and hear Elon Musk talking? So it was really cool to jump in there. So he even got in and talked about self-custody. And that's really big for Elon. He also said Doge to the moon. But that's another story. So there's so many rumors going around about what happened in the FTX debacle and why it's caused such a major crash, because FTX was one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, and it basically fell apart in a matter of days. So this is like some people are comparing it to the 2008 global financial crisis. I don't know if it's that big yet. I don't think we've seen the whole repercussions around the world of what's happening. But I know a lot of people lost money to the tune of, the US 16 billion. So Sam Bankman-Fried himself had a worth net worth of $16 billion, which crashed to basically zero when his businesses went bankrupt. So to me, I don't know if he was smart, and I don't think he would have lost all that money. We see his parents recently bought bought 19 properties in the Bahamas just recently, worth millions and millions of dollars. I mean,
is it really lost?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what we don't know what happened, but really, that's a lot of money to go missing out of nowhere. So yeah, I suppose all you ladies have heard rumors about what's happened. Basically what we saw is a bunch of young people having a lot of fun, taking drugs, trying to run a company, but really they've failed massively and don't realize the repercussions of their actions. So even Sam Bankman-Fried's girlfriend, Caroline Ellison, he was basically pointing the finger at her. So she was the CEO of Alameda, a sister company to FTX. And so she was basically running that show. But he basically pointed the finger at her, blaming this all on her, and who it was supposed to be his girlfriend. So I mean, what sort of person does that? I suppose a young person who's 30 with lots of money, but so basically US regulators are now investigating whether FTX mishandled customer funds, with reports that FTX lent $15 billion of customer funds to Alameda. So on November 16th, there was an interview with Vox. SBF was asked whether FTX had loaned money to Alameda, their sister company, who had gambled with their customer money and lost it. So basically, Sam Bankman-Fried, who was the CEO of FTX, basically responded to this with that he should have been more careful with his accounting, and blamed it on his girlfriend. So, there's been a lot of talk about how they operated and what they did. I mean, obviously, I know for me, if I lost money, I would be absolutely so irate, because we may not see them be held accountable for their actions. And we see this time and time again. Sam Bankman-Fried was one of the biggest donators to a political party, which I believe it was Biden's presidential election. Both his parents are lawyers, so he's come from a very wealthy family who know how to protect him within America and also protect him from going into jail. So this is a thing about, where regulations should be in place to protect people. I mean, it's cryptocurrency. I love DeFi. I love the fact that it's not over heavily regulated, but I think out of this, we're going to see more regulations come. And what do you ladies think also? And if you've got any more rumors about Sam Bankman-Fried, let us know. And what are your thoughts about what's happening in crypto and moving forward? What do you think we're going to see?
Well, I just think this is another example as to why it's so important to keep your crypto off of exchanges. And there's a comment, I don't know if you want to highlight it, from StakeHex XYZ, said any centralized exchange is not crypto, only if it's in your own wallet. And that is so true. Like, you don't want this to happen to you, so take everything off an exchange.
Absolutely.
I think Crypto Heartbeat also has a really good comment. Like, he says, how is SBF not in cuffs? And this is nepotism gone mad. This is absolute, this is just government gone mad. So because of the position that his parents are in, people don't want to touch him. He's running around the Bahamas like a little Nintendo kid. Like, he's doing whatever the hell he wants while his parents buy houses, and he's lost people millions and millions of dollars. How is this a just society? And then, then we see that the crypto influencers are being targeted, that Hex influencers are being targeted, when Hex has been proven not to be a security. It's just disgusting, and it's absolute madness. And it's just the classic, diversion kind of technique. And the whole thing is just, it's just terrible. And it loses people's faith in crypto as well. And a lot of the older generation have wiped off crypto from their radar because, it's not safe or trusted, and we all know that the banking system is completely flawed, and that we want to bring that legitimacy to cryptocurrency. So he's really, the whole FTX saga, we've all had to take a massive step back with, I think, the progress that had been made over the last year or two.
Absolutely. And this just goes to show that the world is in an economic crisis, and it's overflow into all facets of the financial system. But generally, I mean, cryptocurrency is awesome. We wouldn't be here if we didn't love it. I know I love crypto. But Sam Bankman-Fried has made us basically look like a waste of space. I mean, crypto works fine. It's the people behind it. It's the mistrust. It's the misuse. It's the people that lose other people's money that makes it look bad. There's money to be made in crypto, and people know that, but people are afraid because there's more money to lose in crypto as well. That one click, there's so much to learn about crypto. In regards to Sam Bankman-Fried and his contacts, he was very connected to high-profile congressmen and also a lot of people who were important. So he was actually, a Congressman Tom Emmer said in a tweet that he had received reports that the SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, was allegedly helping Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX work on legal loopholes to obtain regulatory monopoly. So the crypto community, which is us, have questioned the relationship between Gensler and the FTX founder, with many labeling it shady. And this is coming straight from an article that I actually was reading. And I absolutely agree in that sense. It is disgusting and it is shady because this Gensler is the SEC chairman or the CEO. And basically, in an article I also read that Gensler's boss at MIT was a Melda CEO Caroline Ellison's father. So the SEC, the chairman, his boss was that Caroline Ellison's father who was running Alameda. So, there's a lot of high up people that are involved in this. And,
Yes.
I mean, he's donated that much money, like millions of dollars. I think Sam Bankman-Fried was like the third biggest donation. I'm talking like $40-odd million that he gave to the political party for Biden's presidential campaign. I mean, surely if he's got that much money, he's given money to the right people who are going to protect his ass. But, we want justice. If you've lost money, I know, like, I don't hate Sam Bankman-Fried. Like, I think he's young, he's inexperienced, he made a lot of money and it was misused and it was stupid. But I don't want to lose money. And if I was a person that lost money, I would be the first one to want to see his ass in jail.
Well, I think, this definitely smells fishy. If you have two professors buying $124 million on properties, I don't think a professor earns $224 million in their lifetime as being, professionals, number one. Everything, politics, war, everything is a business, right? We need to right now take advantage, the community, the crypto community as a whole, to especially the ones who are pushing for decentralized finances, to stand up and really debate or have our voice heard by all those paying attention. Because if we just allowed the media or whomever is out there just saying that, oh, they're bad, people's going to believe it. And most of these disasters that have been happening with crypto, 90%, 100% are all centralized, for centralized finance. So that's when we have to step up and be a very unified community, supporting our leaders. In this case, my leader is Richard Hart, supporting our leaders in pushing for something that we all believe in the beginning. If we don't stick together, if we allow people coming from outside, when there's war, you don't let the enemy come and just get involved in your business, right? Or welcome the enemy to your house. So we need to start being more careful. Who do we open the door to? And that's the way, protecting the community. We're going to be able to give our leaders a louder voice to promote this DeFi finances like we all want. So
absolutely.
I think Dozzy made I think Par Excellence made a good point. He said probably JP Morgan or the government behind it all will use it as an excuse for permission-based blockchains and CBDCs. So did you guys hear about MetaMask? Like they want to monitor people's IP addresses, or what the hell is going on there? So Dozzy's in the middle of trying to figure out how to make his own node and point the network this way and that way. And I'm just like, Doz, that's pretty high level shit. But yeah, probably needed. I mean, it comes down to like the government wanting to ruin our privacy and get paid more and more taxes. And we should all pay our taxes. And that's the bottom line. Just do legal things. But at the same time, like, it just seems unjust, this whole SBF FTX. We haven't seen any justice. And then we've seen that they're pointing the light on other things which aren't a security, trying to just, deflect away from this nasty scandal. There's been no consequences there. So
yeah, I think that one of the things that we discussed on the spaces not too long, like it was over the week, like 2 days ago, was how to protect yourself and how to fix that within MetaMask to be able not to be tracked with your. Obviously, if you have a phone, if you have a computer, anything could be tracked, but it's still how to protect yourself. And Papa Boner, hi Papa Boner, he had a very important point. That's the importance of having your wallets or your coins on a, for example, I'm not a Trezor or an external wallet. So I'm not going to talk so much about the subject. I'm sure he's going to be explaining this in one of his live streams more into depth. So I'm going to let that to the experts. So if you're out there, if you're new to this, make sure you follow here in Discourse Syndicate. There's a lot of streamers that talk about that in particular, how to protect yourself from all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do believe Richard Hart tweeted out that he found that Ethereum had been bugging its customers via MetaMask. And I think we'll see a lot more of this kind of thing. So I believe that Richard Hart's also making a wallet, and of course Pulse Chain. I believe that should stop most of this kind of stuff. That's the response I got from some of the boys in one of the chats, and like Doza, Claz, all the boys, they're all over this, how to solve this problem, and
Yeah, they're so funny. Yeah, I mean, every Tuesday night I'm always listening in because, I love the Aussie chats in particular, obviously, because I'm Aussie, but it's funny. They all get fired up and then Tangent starts swearing and then it's just hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're a good bunch of great guys and they're really smart. And as soon as something happens like this, they are all over it. So, people will come out. I think K4K brought a video out as well, how to explain what's going on and how to change. I think, maybe using a VPN would solve the issue. I haven't really looked into it a lot, but there'll be more information coming out in regards to that. So definitely, self-custody could have protected a lot of people from what happened with FTX and, having their own Trezor and things like that, having their own wallet. But yeah, and everyone should pay their taxes, right? But if someone doesn't pay them, that shouldn't be the responsibility of everybody. But I believe we will get more regulation around the world. And what are your thoughts? And Serena, you might like to talk about, what would you like to see? What's healthy? What do you reckon healthy regulation is in crypto?
I'm not really sure right now. I don't know.
No regulations?
I'd rather not. Yeah, that would be better.
None? Zero. We don't want any regulations. You understand? We're somewhere else doing business.
But,
I should become a politician, guys. I should go out there and fight. I don't know, just make noise, delete stuff, do something, give you insights. Imagine me walking down the hallway. Hi, I'm Congressman Georgia.
I'll vote for you, Georgia. You can hold my baby.
My Hex shirt every day, going to work. I think
some of them, they're like, "Can I hold your baby?" I'd be like, "No," but for you, I'd be like, "Yes."
Sure. Can I be the godmother? Little Hexicans.
But in terms of regulation, there are ways that we can be slightly more regulated and it can actually work for us. For example, if you've ever tried to do a crypto tax return, it's actually the automated software is really behind. And I wouldn't mind personally a little bit of, more clarity around some of those, even online, more information and more clarity around that, because we all want to do the legal thing and the right thing, and we do want to pay the legal amount of tax without thinking that, because there's a lot of ambiguity at the moment because it hasn't been clarified online. So I think that would be helpful.
It's in Australia, it's a very grey area. The point where you call the tax off and you ask them a question, they're like, go to the website. Well, I've been to your website and it doesn't really explain anything.
No, there's so much.
It's a vicious cycle.
And to find a professional that can help you, I can find maybe 1 or 2 in Sydney that are really proficient. But otherwise, it's difficult.
I've heard. I'm not sure if the project is ready, but I've heard a couple of Hexicans, OGs, are preparing something in regards to teaching other people about crypto and taxes and all that stuff. I'm not going to talk about the project because I don't know much, but it's coming soon. I think it's fantastic that no matter what is going on around, that we're moving forward. So I think that's very important. We're preparing for the future.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Serena, Crypto Gleans Club 369 says your new videos are fire.
Thanks
Tell us
so
about
much.
the videos you've been doing.
Yeah, me and Lindsay the Hexican have been streaming once a week. So just trying to break down like Hex and just what it is, what you can expect or not expect, just how it works. Oh, can I link my channel? Sure. If you search my name, just like how it's spelled, it will come up. But let me link it as well.
And yeah, George, I agree. I don't want too much regulation because I could just go to the bank and use a bank account. I don't want that. Crypto's different. Crypto's for the people. We've got a voice. We've got anonymity, and we don't want to spoil that. As much as I don't like people getting robbed and scammers, and there is need for regulation, but not to the point where the government just want to overthrow it like they do everything
else. Control. It's the same thing. Yeah. We're gonna
especially your money.
Yeah, we have a battle to. It's a very important task that we have to fight, or a battle. I don't want to say a battle, but we're gonna have to get wiser and educate ourselves and continue spreading the word, because the resistance is gonna be harder because we're growing. That means that we're advancing, so the resistance is gonna be a lot harder, and media as well. And we need people to know that we're not the bad guys. We're actually the good guys.
Absolutely. Hexy Quinn, what are your thoughts on regulation? You've been in crypto probably around about a year and a half, 2 years.
I don't know about regulation, but I'm really looking forward to the FTX documentary. The story's so nuts. Do you think we'll see Highest of Stakes first or the FTX documentary? Because this could be good for Highest of Stakes, I'm thinking. Because that's the FTX story, so nuts and dramatic. I think that people are going to want, even people that don't know anything about crypto are going to want to watch it because it's so insane that could be nothing but good for Highest of Stakes is what I'm thinking. What do you guys think?
I think for sure. I can't wait to see Highest of Stakes. Has there been any updates, guys, on when we're going to see it? Because I know the box set costs $1 million, so I was like, no. Is that controversial?
Well, RG3 said recently that the documentary was done.
Oh yeah, it's done, but when is it going to launch?
Well, they're shopping around. I guess they're shopping for the best place to put the baby. They worked really, really hard on that. And I think that was the producer or the production company behind such an amazing and high quality, because you also have to place the documentary in a place that is going to really be reaching the people that we want to reach. And also, I'm sure they're going to launch depending on the award season. I think with that kind of documentary and the quality, they're going to want to expose that to different places. I see it in Cannes and different film festivals. And for that, you need to bring it out at a certain time. I'm not a film person. I don't know much about the timing, but I know it's important. Make sure that it comes out on the right time so it could qualify for different festivals, film festivals.
So RG 23, he's got first quarter 2023. That's pretty, that's exciting. And I really do want that box set, but can that be like a Christmas discount if anyone has got
Oh
some
my
like
God, yes. I
like
saw
50%
that.
discount for Christmas? Come on.
You know what? If it had like a meet and greet with Richard Hart, I will say one of my cars to get it, but it was a little bit pricey.
How much was it, ladies? I didn't see it.
$890 US, but maybe I got that wrong. Is that
$100. It
right?
went from 5,555 to 55, 50, like
Oh, there's a range, is
55,000 or
there?
something like that.
Wasn't the number one like 55 grand?
Yes, but it was worth it.
What is in that fucking box?
That is Richard in the box, 55 grand.
Yes.
If you pay 55 grand, you
Virgin
can
would
have
have
him in a
bought
box.
that.
Some people does. Some people
Red
do.
Bull in a box, 55 grand.
We have a lot of Mexicans or a lot of people that is on the space that can't afford that kind of money. So
55, it's a lot.
I think the whole FTX drama and how crazy it is going to be nothing but good for highest of stakes, because people are going to, especially the preview for it, it's like, what the hell is this? Like, so I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
I think more people will want to watch it now.
I think it's funny. Well, I probably shouldn't say this. I'm going to say it anyway. If they portray us as scammers, you know what the funny thing is? If they honestly believe that, they wouldn't have invested, so they've screwed themselves. So,
you know what I'm thinking? Everything that is going to come after the documentary. Do you understand, guys? This is going to open the doors for like the Hex Bling Empire and Ladies of Hex and the Housewives of Hex, of Hexico or something like that. It's going to open the doors to so many things. So get ready, ladies. I'm going to start the diet now so I can be considered to one of those everyday reality shows. But it's going to
go on Hexico Shore.
Hexico Shore.
I know what they can do with all the money they get from the box set. They can just DCA down into Hex, buy it at the bottom. And then, like, the reward is theirs. Like, I don't think the money is in the box set price. I think the money for them is to reinvest that into Hex. Because now is, like, the best time to buy. Like, I'm super bullish at the moment. I don't know how you guys feel.
Absolutely. And we should be focusing more. If we want to get people into crypto, especially in their Hex, now should be the time to do it. It's a bear market. There's not a lot going on. And I don't know about you, but some people have got in at the top, which I also bought at the top. I feel kind of lousy, but if you don't understand what crypto is, what bear markets are and bull markets are, then you're probably feeling a little bit down. And to anyone out there that it's the first bear market, hold on. Listen to Richard Hart. And he says people get rich in crypto, founders and holders. You just keep on holding. That's all you got to do. You be
and
strong.
If you can buy now, sorry, Sammy.
You're right.
If you can buy now, and let's say you did buy at the top, then you're bringing down your average significantly. So if you are in a position where you can buy now, then and you did buy higher and you feel a bit rubbish about it, then buy now, and your average price comes down and comes down and comes down until we hit bottom.
Absolutely, and that's where the experience of cryptocurrency comes in. If you're just getting your neighbor in like a one-off transaction, they bought the top. And then they came and tell you, oh my God, I've lost X. They're like, all right, bro, well, don't put any more in, or you can dollar cost average in. That's where the research behind getting the crypto comes in and the knowledge of bear markets. And, with all this FUD going around, you might think, oh, we're not going to see another bull run. We will see another bull run. It's just going to take time. You just got to be strong. Hold on. Sometimes you don't even want to look at crypto because it makes you feel sick. And I think we've got a lot worse to come. I mean, as Richard said, 11K in prey. And I reckon he's going to be right. I reckon Richard Hart is always right. And speaking of Richard Hart being right, I just think this man is amazing. I watched him call out FTX earlier. I watched him call out Celsius. I watched him call out Luna. And I watched him call out a number of others. And it's just so aggravating to see these big influencers shilling their FTX links and shilling their thoughts about crypto when they're absolutely incorrect, because they do have referral links making them money. And this is why I suppose Richard Hart gets upset. I mean, his voice is this tiny, and these guys are just overpowering, and they're basically trying to get rich themselves. And just speaking, not boasting, but Mike Alfred is someone that hates Hex. I think he's on the Hex documentary. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's in there, and he's basically stating of how shitty he reckons it is. Along with also Eric. I think Eric Wall's also got his shitty opinion on there as well.
He's a fangirl, yeah. He was on the Spaces.
Yeah.
Are you, Serena,
was he?
are any of you on the documentary? I tried, but they won't even open the door of the room that they were filming. So
Nah.
No?
No,
I'm not. I went for an interview with them, but they were full. They had so much footage, they didn't need anymore. But that's okay. I don't.
No, we're gonna do the
Housewives
of Hexico. I'm there.
That's
Make
right.
Mexican
That's right.
Force.
It's going to be a
Yeah.
spin-off series, Ladies of Hexico. And
Yeah,
guess who's
Ladies
going to
of
be,
Hexico.
guess who's going to be front and center? Yeah. Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sammy,
Yeah,
ladies.
I'm there.
Absolutely.
I'm
Serena.
there.
Mini series.
I'm ready to show my. I'm ready to show my
yeah.
journey. From a little 2-bedroom apartment to a mansion in the Hexico shores. So.
Oh, guys, can I just say something? Okay, so Berica
Yeah.
Wall was in the Spaces today, because you know how famous he is doing the space about his new project, which is really cool space, by the way. Guys should go listen to that.
Yeah.
So he was loving Katie, and it was like, oh, it was too cute. It was cute, guys.
Oh.
Yeah, tell us more, Clay.
All right.
The juice.
Okay, so Katie was doing her thing, talking about complicated things I didn't quite get, way over my head. She's high level, man. And then Berica Wall had never come across Katie, because he was up as a speaker and he heard Katie doing her thing. So Berica Wall was like, what? Like, what is this? Like a lady in crypto? Like the whole, oh, you're a lady in crypto thing. And I was just like, ugh. And then he's like, and you're normal? And I was just like, oh my God, so many assumptions here that are just like really riling me up. But it was just too cute. And I think at the end of the day, he was actually trying to compliment her and he loved her. So yeah, I asked him to be on a stream.
Katie is pretty lovable.
With me and Katie and Hodbril. He's yet to get back to me, but we'll see. Never know. I always reach a bit high with who I ask, but hey, Richard, do you want to be on my stream? I got 500 subs, man.
That's excellent.
Nice.
I have 36.
Guys, if you don't ask, you don't get.
I abandoned my mom's
That's
crypto
right.
thing, but
anyway, Berica
That's
loves
really
Hex.
cool. That's really cool.
He does. He loves Richard.
yeah,
You
look-
saw that photo, Sammy, with him and Richard
Yeah,
at
yeah.
dinner.
Yeah, and I agree, Claire, to the point where they could even be working together. We wouldn't even know that. But I don't like his attitude towards Hex. I don't like some of the tweets he does. I just don't like it, whether they're friends or not. That's just my personal opinion. But I've got it back and forth with Eric before as well. But yeah, Mike Alfred, he's on the documentary and he's a hater. And I brought up one of his previous shills and he blocked me past month, and I also got blocked by Coach K Crypto because he was shilling.
you got blocked?
Yeah, I got blocked by 2 big boys this month. So just putting it out there, not boasting, but Coach K was also someone bragging about FTX and had a ref link. And when I brought that up to him, he said, "Oh, he lost money, but how much money did he like? He made money and lost money, but boo-hoo." Yeah, he didn't like that, and he blocked me when I questioned him for not preaching self-custody. Yeah, he didn't like that at all. So yeah, in regards to the movie, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great for Richard. It's going to be great for the Hexicans who are on there. I really hope it opens people's eyes to crypto, and I hope it gets a lot more people into crypto. I mean, there's just so much negative stuff out there. I mean, the Quadriga X debacle. That's a documentary on Netflix. And Serena, remember I sent you the link? Have you guys ever watched the Quadriga X debacle?
No.
It's basically about how Quadriga X in Canada, big Quadriga exchange, went down. Same scenario, missing founder. This guy's got a smile on his face the whole movie through, just disappears in thin air from his wife and children and dies in India from I believe it was a bowel-related condition. But it's really interesting. If you love crypto, check out this movie on Netflix. I search it. I think it's The Crypto King, about the Quadriga X CEO who's gone missing. This is just a similar scenario.
I think I
look
watched
at
that. It
what
was a
happened.
really good movie.
You liked it?
I think
Yeah,
I
I
watched it
liked
before I
it.
even got into crypto.
Oh yeah.
Because before I even got into anything, I think I saw it was interesting and I watched it, but I didn't know. Imagine watching that before knowing about all this. So
I used to
now,
use
Yeah.
Quadriga CX, so that was pretty funny. But
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah, you
luckily,
did.
I was
Yeah, you
smart
did.
and from the beginning had a ledger, so I never kept any crypto on the exchange. So I did not get wrecked from that. So
no, that's
Smart
good.
yeah.
girl. Smart woman.
Smart.
But then we saw Mt. Gox as well. Mt. Gox was one of the first Bitcoin exchanges. If you had Bitcoin back in the early days, you probably had it on Mt. Gox, and he had a big hack, and that's still in limbo today. It's still in administration hands. People are still waiting for their Bitcoins that would be worth a lot of money. So this is continual behaviour of these exchanges just going missing or getting hacked and things like this. And I mean, I don't believe a word. I see through it. And I agree with Richard all the way. Like, just don't keep your money on there and then you can't, lose it all. So, I mean, I really hope that the time the Highest Estates comes out, there'll be a little link, or you can Google Pulse Chain and you can get into it, and it'll have a website where you can reference everything about crypto, everything you need to know, warnings about keeping your seed words to yourself, just everything that that person can read can be all handy, because if the movie comes out and people can't access Pulse Chain or something like that, it's not really going to be relevant, is it? But I think they're connected. I think that the documentary on Pulse Chain, which is actually, I believe it was supposed to be the last bit of the movie, but if anyone can correct me on that, I might be wrong.
I
I
think
think
they
Patrick said that they're waiting for Pulse Chain to launch the movie. Like, that's how the movie ends, is Pulse Chain launches or something like that. So it's gonna be about the same time, I'm guessing.
Yeah, hopefully. And well, it's all speculation right now, isn't it? We just don't know what's coming. We don't have crystal balls, and we can't see the future. But one of the Hexicans in the chat brought up that SBF is not worth talking about, and look, I absolutely agree. And it's been in my face for the last week, and I've just watched it unfold. But I think it's interesting, and I think we all should learn from this. And I think that something as big as this happening in the industry that we love, then we should be aware. Even if we're not passionate about it and we don't enjoy it, it's still something that we can learn from other people's mistakes.
Sure.
I hate to say it, but we can, because FTX, that it just wasn't FTX and Alameda that went down. It brought down a lot of other exchanges, and you probably saw the unfolding of the other exchanges where so even crypto.com is in question. I don't know if they've been affected. They said they've been affected, but there was more. There wasn't just crypto. It was Kraken. Oh no, Kraken said so. As for the future, crypto industry watchers do not see it disappearing completely, and that's good, because we all know there's money to be made in crypto. It's just doing the right thing and listening to Richard. So so about the sector's potential, I believe there's a lot of potential in the space, regardless of what's happened here, apart from the billions of dollars that are being lost. I mean, crypto is $1 trillion industry now. I mean, that can't be ignored. People have to wake up to what's going on. And, I mean, Bitcoin was invented to be some sort of solution to the global financial crisis back in 2008. And, I would agree in some way it worked. It made people go from rags to riches. A lot of people, did this. And, I don't think we're going to see that stopping anytime soon, because if there's money to be made, people are going to be in it. It just raises more awareness, that there's more risk.
Yeah, we're going to have to prepare for the awareness. The problems are going to get bigger, and we're going to have to be strong together. The first chain that we have to create is right here with the community. we have to create a human chain before they let us go to the blockchain. Obviously, or decentralized. The government, for us, for the government, we're the enemy. So we have to make some kind of meet in the middle or something. Something has to be done.
But sorry, go, Flav, go.
Oh, something interesting that Richard said, because and this was recent, he said that he preferred Ethereum over Bitcoin. He said that Bitcoin, he just wouldn't buy it again. And I assume it's because Bitcoin is an older product, so it's heavier to move. So if you're looking for gains, I think even Richard said, like, if you bought at the bottom and sold at the top in the next cycle, maybe you make a 10x. But if we all imagine what Hex is going to do, then we're not really chasing 10x's. We're chasing perhaps, a little bit more than that based on past performance.
Exactly. History repeats itself, and it's just like always a step higher and a step higher. That's what I've been seeing with the numbers, studying the history.
And you'll hear Richard Hart talk about that. You just need more financial energy to move Bitcoin price. And he talks about the big guys already being in. Where's the capital going to come from to raise the price on Bitcoin? It's just so heavy. That's why there's something new, more technologically advanced. Things that just run by themselves.
The fun part with Richard Hart when he says something is not questioning his predictions or his knowledge, is going back and seeing how he got to that so smart. That's what I do. I don't question him. I just try to go back and see, oh my God, he's so smart. How he got from A to the final conclusion or whatever, from A to Z. That is the most important thing for me right now, to learn his genius. So
I think he's actually gifted. All I have to do is watch Richard to hear him speak, and I know he's a very smart person. But when he calls out things before they happen, that makes me believe that he's got some extraordinary talent for what he's doing, because we've seen the proof. It's like knowing a really good psychic. If you've ever known a really good psychic and they tell you something, you're like, oh my God. Watching Richard is just like that. And that's why I take all of his advice, because I have a feeling he's going to be right every time. He doesn't lie. And it's for the people. I just want to go back to the FTX thing. I was just trying to find some information. So FTX was led by an American and based in the Bahamas. Its implosion has reverberated globally with some of the biggest fallout in Asia. So South Korea, Singapore, and Japan had the greatest number of users on FTX in that order, according to CoinGecko. So they're the ones that are suffering the most out of all of this. Apart from it's global. It is a global crisis.
Yeah, but going back to the market, Sammy, and Richard Hart's sort of prediction skills, and there's no question that he's an expert there. And I reckon you should invite him on here and he can give us ladies a tutorial. I would actually enjoy that. But you guys have to focus if he was to come on here, okay? But if you look back at the market, like I did a little bit of like history searching the other day. So I went on TradingView and I looked up BTC USD in Bitstamp network. And if you zoom out, like do a monthly zoom out, you can see on the 1st of December every 4 years, it kind of peaks like broadly on the chart. And you think history repeats itself every cycle. Every cycle is 4 years and there's a peak on the 1st of December for BTC, roughly every 4 years. And so it kind of calms you down, because if every cycle is 4 years, 1 year you're going down. That's been this year. We're at the end almost, hopefully. 2 years you go side, and then 1 year you go up, and it will peak at the end of that year. So once you get your head around that, you can just calm your farm and then change your strategy, So obviously price is going down, you're DCAing in. Price is going sideways, you're providing liquidity. Price is going up, then you're DCAing out. And then on top of that, you've got your long-term game, which is your staking game. So I think if people do that, personally, I found that quite comforting.
Yeah, absolutely. I've also had a look into it and looked at the previous market cycles. I tend to notice that we do go 1 year down, 2 years sideways, and 1 year up. It's usually, and reading about the Bitcoin halvening, it's usually a year and a half to a Bitcoin top from the halvening. The next halvening is in, I believe, May of 2024. So, you know, I mean, when will we see a bottom? When you know, I guess we have to see a bottom before we.
I think because I don't know what the powers that be that are going to dump this 2 billion of Bitcoin, but I suppose that will signify, I think, the bottom. And like, it must be coming soon. Like, I'm thinking the first day of next week when everything goes down is my prediction, but my predictions have been wrong because I think my original prediction was something like, I can't remember, but I stuffed it. So yeah, I don't know. Whatever Richard Hart ends up calling, that'll be it.
You mean predicting the bottom, Claire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I'm no good at predictions. That's why I don't make them. But you know, I suppose there's a lot of things that are making it a little bit different this time. So FTX debacle, Mt. Gox sitting on the edge, ready to sell their coins. I mean, that's something that Richard mentioned. We don't know when that's going to happen. You know, it's something that. How much have they got? They've got over $1 billion.
I don't
billions
know.
of dollars of Bitcoin that they want to sell off, but the administrations who are holding on to it, who are getting paid, are just sitting back prolonging it, because who doesn't like get paid for doing not a lot? I do.
Did you see what Elon tweeted? He's like, because I wrote this tweet, does that mean that I've done some work? And then I wrote down, like, in my reply, not that he'd read it, of course, I said, no, it doesn't. And then I told him to stream with Richard the importance about self-custody of coins. So yeah, if we could try to get that interview happening, I mean, why not? We can always try, guys.
It's who you know is where you go, Clay. I'm telling you, like, even I did, you know, that there's a documentary maker, he's an Aussie. He's I can't remember his name. He's a bit of Tom Gillespie. He did a documentary. He does the Scandemic. So me and Tangent went on and had the interview with him. And you know, I mean, he's a nice guy, but I think he's just got his views a little bit mixed up. But he actually interviewed Elon Musk, and I said to him, "How did you manage to interview Elon Musk?" And this guy tweets on Facebook. There's no likes. I only like it because I feel sorry for him. He tweets out, and there's maybe a couple of likes. Like, how do you get to interview Elon Musk? And he's like, so he had a friend or a cousin or something who was connected, and that's how he got the interview with Elon Musk. Because otherwise, a normal Joe Blow, there's just, I mean, I've never seen Elon Musk ever answer anyone that I know, even Richard Hart's comments.
Oh,
like,
Mrs.
ever.
Hart, you're muted, hun.
I was going to say, I'm just going to go and stand outside Elon's workspace. I know that he's there all the time with a big sign that says, why not? Hey, guys, that's another idea. I'm going to find out where he works. Which is it, Dallas? Where is he
Tesla.
at now? Somewhere.
Is that
Tesla.
Is that
Which
Twitter?
one? He has like
Could rock
different
out.
ones. Where?
Tesla, Twitter. That's his companies.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I think it's a good idea. You know, I think it's a good idea. I'll maybe trick him into giving me, you know, a tip or something like a beggar asking for something for Christmas, and then I take off and I
Like
say,
a blowy.
Oh,
Did you know,
like
fun thought?
That might work.
Fun thought. Did you know that Sam Bankman-Fried put forward $100 million towards Elon's Twitter takeover?
And he said it was not true. I think Elon tweeted that it was not true.
Really? Well,
I
I
believe
didn't
so.
know that. So thank you, Georgia, if it's not true.
Let me see. I'm gonna check. Let me text him and find out. Let me check the fact.
Yeah, you do that.
Let
Elon.
me check my DMs.
I'm sorry. Before I say something, let me check with him. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Oh, well, if he did, he didn't. But you know, SBF knew a lot of people, important people. But it was interesting. He was on a stream with, I think, that Kobe guy, and they said to him, SBF, they said, "Oh, you know, jail isn't such a bad place." You know, and he just went blank, turned off his camera, and went off stream because, you know, obviously he felt intimidated. I mean, jail's obviously not a nice place, but then, you know, he should have thought of that before he cooked the books, you know. So, apart from that, you know, how's everyone feeling about the crypto market in general? Class, tell me, what are the traditional markets doing? What's going on? You know, I don't watch the TV. I don't watch the news. I wouldn't have a clue. I just know a lot of people are struggling right now. What's going on in the world in finance? Tell us.
To be honest with you, I don't have like a great overview, except that I think BTC follows the global market. So we can just look at what that's doing. And like I said before with the cycles, it is pretty predictable. But on top of that, you've got out of control inflation, and there's no answer or cure to that. It's getting worse and not better. And for example, we have strikes at work for the lower paid workers because they can't make ends meet and they want to be loyal, but they're just at their wits' end, and people are suffering. So the situation in terms of inflation is just getting worse over time. And I think this is good for crypto in the next cycle. I mean, can you imagine we hit bottom of the market and then, you know, can you imagine what Hex and Pulse Chain are going to do at the bottom to the top? And people are going to, you know, I think in this next cycle, we'll have a lot of mind changes. People have lost their superannuation. Like my in-laws have lost heaps of money, and still they don't complain about it because they have that trust in the legacy system. When they've lost so much money, it's disgusting. So I think it is time for change, and I think you know, people are going to change their minds because they'll be sick of losing their super every year.
So how did they lose their super, if you don't mind me? How does a person lose their super in all of this?
So most superannuation funds diversify the portfolio, and it mostly is into shares. Like most people have a lot of their super in shares, and the market's taken a big dump and they've lost their life savings. Not all of it, but a proportion of it. And everyone's in that same boat. Like if you look at your own super account, unless you put it into cash or really low risk, you would have lost in the last year money. And people aren't going to tolerate that forever. And I don't see that situation getting any better from the majority of people. And I think that'll drive them into crypto. I think it's going to be a whole, you know, I think we're, you know, crypto is relatively new, but I think we're at the forefront of a major change that's going to happen. And along with that change, there becomes a lot of fear from the legacy system, which is why you're seeing, you know, subpoenas and so on and so forth, which is disgusting. And nepotism is still, you know, out of control with, you know, SBF running around doing what he wants. So I think crypto is going to be adopted. I think this next cycle is going to be super exciting. I think it's going to be hold on to your chair kind of stuff. Try not to get too excited. Contact Maddie Allen when you start, the number goes up and you get a bit scared.
Absolutely. And for everyone else watching, super in Australia is to what your 401k is. And I believe here you got a choice. You got to a certain point, you can either keep it as cash or you can choose to invest. I believe there is a box that you could check. Well, I believe there is online. Maybe not all people. But yeah, I haven't checked mine, to be honest. Maybe that's something I've got to do. Well, the trend I'm seeing in Australia is, of course, groceries going up, petrol's going up, everyday living's going up. And as I said to you, because I'm addicted to TikTok, I'm seeing people all over the world struggling to make ends meet. And does that mean the government's not doing their job? Yes, it does, because it's their job to keep the population living at least the breadline to be able to survive. So that's where I believe that's where we need new leaders. And whether it be their personal fault, no. But when you're running a country, you've got to look after your people. Yeah, but I agree with the next bull market. I'm so excited, even though it's a long way away. I'm super excited. As Richard Hart says, you know, once all these interest rates stop, we'll see money flow back into crypto, and maybe people, you know, it'll be a couple of years away. People will be more educated on crypto, know what they're doing, and know there's really some good money to be made out there. Of course, it isn't my financial advice, but I'm just talking through personal experience. And not that I'm rich, but you know, you can make money in crypto. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, in terms of like, sorry, Georgia, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I mean, in terms of, you know, hope for the future when it comes to finances, no matter how much you get paid, you're probably still living paycheck to paycheck, like you haven't been able to retire. And even though I'm in a very stable, very well-paid job, which I'm grateful for, that's not going to retire me. If I stayed doing that, I would just be working like everyone else until the age of 67, which is retirement age in Australia. So, you know, crypto gives a lot of people hope. It is extremely volatile, and for newbies, it's extremely dangerous unless they have someone to hold their hand and show them what to do. So I think that's also our greatest challenge, is that we're all pretty educated in the space and we're going to be fine with our own strategies. But the very new people, they're high risk of getting scammed. And that's not the fault of like Richard Hart ecosystem. That's just all of crypto in general. You press the wrong button, you go to the wrong website, you don't know how to set yourself up. So I think our greatest challenge, as well as helping ourselves, is to help other people that are interested.
Absolutely. Georgia, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the difference between the other cycles that we had in crypto and this cycle is that the community is growing. Now we have more voices. We have the Twitter spaces that we can go, and younger crowds are reaching out to get information. So I think it's very important that we still have a big presence in all the platforms like Twitter Space, YouTube, Facebook. We don't have to forget about the old platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and some other ones that are probably out there. But the community is it's growing, and so is the message. So eventually, those new people, those youngsters, or the people looking to see what can I do, like me, what can I do different uh, for and so I don't depend on my retirement. That's how I end up here, in Hex. But it is quite different, and we have to take advantage of this opportunity and move forward with it and push in one direction, guys. Let's not put our energy dividing. We have to move forward. Vote for me.
Yeah.
Move forward. Vote for me.
Okay. I got you.
We have a lot of
Absolutely.
things going on here with the community. It's amazing.
Yeah, we do. And, there surely is some amazing people in our community. Not that I've just met on stream and on Twitter, but when I went to Vegas and I met all the Hexicans, they were just amazing, super friendly. I mean, I don't know if it's just American people, but everyone was just lovely.
It makes you like responsible. I feel responsible because I met you all guys. It's not just like someone who you meet, you go, you subscribe and unsubscribe. There is a relationship building right now. And with that comes, the responsibility of, following. We have a lot of things like we have CZ that is doing so much in the community. We have, Hexi
Hi,
Queen.
CZ.
Great people representing the community. And like Black Hexican, so many events, so many things. So it's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got so many cool people in our community, and I think what I like about it is that they're all different. They're all free thinkers, and they don't have to. They don't believe the garbage. And I think when you follow Richard Hart, you see how crazy and eccentric and controversial it is. You make up your own mind. And I don't know about you, but I know for a lot of us, we saw something special in Richard. I mean, I've been doing the Melbourne meetups, and we have a real good time. And I continually hear that same thing. They saw something in Richard Hart that they really adored, and I believe it's just his amnesty, his professionalism in that cool way, and his gift to people. He's with the people for the people, and I think Hexicans who follow him are very similar kind of people. That's what I find. And yeah, as I said, I think life would be boring. I mean, if you took a step back, we've gone through so much. We had a pandemic. Now we've got a crisis and a war and chaos all over the world. But if you stopped and had a look around, I know for me, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty busy. I've worked full time still. I've got kids. But without crypto and the Hex community, my life would be boring,
Yeah.
Agreed. Definitely. I think crypto brings an element of excitement to our life and direction. And I think and financial security in a way that, we don't want to wait to 67 to enjoy our best life and our best financial security. I mean, I don't want to live my best life at the age of 70. I mean, 33% of people throughout their lifetime are at risk of getting, say, cancer. It's like there's no guarantees in life. And I just feel like we should have that freedom earlier to pursue our passions, spend more time with our family and do those projects that we want to do.
Absolutely. And not only that, but the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and it's a struggle if you work every day. And I mean, of course, Claire, you're very privileged to be in the position that you are in, and you've shared with us today. But a lot of people aren't, and I don't ever think I've seen people get so financially free in such a short period of time. And not that crypto is get rich quick, but I've seen people make a lot of money. And it gives us hope. It's like actually better than buying a lotto ticket, because if you play the game right and listen to the right people, you can make a big change in your own life. And that's what I love about it.
And it's just sticking to those first principles, finding the right founder, Richard Hart, with products that have good market fit, not putting your money on centralized exchanges or keeping it there. And then having a massive community behind it that's going to educate you and show you safe ways that you can stake your coins, or, come up with strategies together, educate each other. And I think we're really blessed in this community to have that. I don't see that in any other communities. So I'm super grateful for Hex in particular. And I'm really looking forward to this next cycle. I'm looking forward to the bottom and Richard's bottom call.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose it'll be a busy year next year in crypto, because I don't know if anyone else reckons we'll see the bottom this year, or it has to be next year, I'm guessing. Also we've got the movie release, and of course Pulse Chain, hopefully. So I think there'll be a lot to look forward to, especially for us Mexicans, because apart from the broader community, we've just got so much going on in our own space, which makes crypto exciting. Because looking in a bear market, it can be very, very boring. A lot of sideways action.
But people should be taking their opportunities. Like, there's no excuse now not to learn how to provide liquidity, because we have low cost options of learning. So we have ETHW you could learn on. We have testnet you could learn on. If you go to Uniswap V3, there's like a super, super simple breakdown. So if you're thinking it's difficult in your head, it's not. So you should be using your time wisely. And if you're not in a position to DCA down, then learn.
And Claire, do you provide liquidity?
Only recently. Yeah, so I can't say I'm an expert. I think it's something that you have to know from experience, and I feel like I'm at the beginning of that journey.
Yeah, look, I'm totally with you, and I've just learned probably I've only been providing liquidity for the last month, maybe 2 months, so I'm very new to it as well. But we've got all the boys around. You got Doza to learn. It's good when you have someone that can answer questions. But
yeah.
I absolutely agree. I think that's how rich people are making their money, with providing liquidity. Because how else do you make, apart from staking, how else do you make money in a bear market?
If the market's going sideways for 2 years and you're making your money off providing liquidity, then that's what I sort of spurred me on to go, okay, it's probably time. If there's 2 years in the market where you're going to make your money providing liquidity, then it might be a good idea to get good at it. Or at least start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe this cycle I'll suck, and next cycle I'll be all right.
But I think it's a risk. Like, there's risks involved providing liquidity, and I've seen that. It depends when you take it out too. I'm providing liquidity on Uniswap V2 and also the Ethereum proof of work network. And only because it's a low risk for me, and that's what I wanted to learn. And I've got to say, I've watched the balances. I'm learning, and sometimes you go, oh my gosh, because I'm earning more crypto, because I'm farming as well. So my farming coins are going up, but the price is going down. So it's like taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But it's also interesting. Did you hear Richard Hart say that in regards to farming, that staking Hex was actually more profitable than farming?
I didn't hear him do that, but I did.
I've heard, but I can't remember what he said. But yes, I've heard that.
Yeah,
there's really interesting experiments you can do with staking. Like, let's say, for instance, you don't want to go 15 years, you want to go 1 or 2 years. You can play with the number, how much you're going to invest, and then just play around with it and see what your rewards are on one of the websites that tell you, and then just make it suit your life.
Yeah, exactly. But even when Hex, the first year of Hex, I remember Richard Hart saying something similar. Just basically that it was more profitable to stake hex than provide liquidity. That's probably one of the reasons I wasn't really interested. But speaking to other hexicans who are actually doing quite well in the liquidity providing department, I thought I'd take it up, and hopefully I'll be able to share my knowledge when I'm more experienced in it, because obviously it's a learning curve. And right now, looking at my liquidity, I wouldn't be pulling it out right now because it's so volatile. That's when there's more risk when you are providing liquidity. So, well, I hope that your liquidity providing is going really smooth, Class, and I hope you make a killing.
Oh, it's a learning experience. So I tried to be safe, and my safe options that I could think of was USDC and Hex on V3. And so when the price moves up and down, I go to Doz like, what happens now? And then he sort of like, it's still, I feel like it's something that I have to experience myself to get a feel for it. So yeah, I'll just keep revisiting over the course of a year or two. I'm not going to get it overnight.
No, I don't think it is something you get overnight. I think there's just so much to learn, and when you've got the farming side of it as well, that's even more. And then also trusting exchanges, bridges. Some of them you have to have trust in them to use them. So that's all a learning curve. But it's a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of fun. And with liquidity, I believe that when you provide it and you see your number go down, which I have, it's best not to pull it out. You just leave it there until it gets to a point where it's profitable to pull it out. But I think essentially you want to make more in profit than what you put in there, But yeah, I don't
definitely,
know
it's something you would start with like additional money, or it's something you would start on a low cost chain. You wouldn't go heavy when you're just starting out, that's for sure. It has to be like an educational experience, I would call it initially.
What I'll do, I practice all that on the testnet, and the real money I put it on Hex, like you said, Sammy, because I did hear Richard say that it's better to, obviously it's always better to invest in Hex and stake. So I'm not at that level that I can be playing around or trying to discover something new if I'm just in the process of learning. And I think we have enough with Hex if we really study the product and we see all the possibilities that we have to do with Hex and everything that is coming from Richard.
Yeah, but even if you have been on the test net and you have done some farming on PulseX, like, I mean, if those rewards were real at one point in time, they were amazing, but obviously they're not. But yeah, I mean, and I think pools and farms only last for a certain period of time. They're not ongoing. But that's where you can make some really decent money. So, but yeah, it's interesting to jump on there and just have a play around with it, see what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've thought twice since Richard talked about stake and Hex being more profitable. Maybe go a little bit less heavy than I was thinking of going into the providing liquidity on the Pulse chain. But yeah, it's all a waiting game. We'll see. And you know what? When all the big boys come out and tell you what's happening and tell you what's profitable, that's when I'll be making a move,
Yes. So let's go to the first guys to guide us, tell us which is the best way to get to.
The boys will know. They'll suss it all out because they're super smart and they'll do all their calculations and make all their tools, and that's how they'll, I think we'll progress. So what else have you ladies been doing in crypto scenes that's like so boring?
Well, I've been really ready for we have the KSB. They're doing the Hex anniversary in San Diego, so I'm getting ready for that. It's going to be amazing. I think a lot of the Hexicans are going to meet up in San Diego, and it's going to be a celebration. You know what it feels to be on a meetup, so it's going to be the feeling, and the community keeps growing. So now it's like there's no way I'm missing one of the events, especially if it's here in California. And then there's a lot of things going on. What else do we have going on, guys? Put up
So what date is the meetup?
I'm sorry?
What date? Sorry. What date's the meetup, Georgia?
I believe December 1st it starts. It's like a 4-day thing. It starts on the 1st, and there's different events. and they have a nice itinerary. I think if you go to ksb.com, I think, I'm sorry, Casey, the KSB website, and we'll put it up in our feed, either in Twitter or later on here. They have all the information. They also have the awards, the Hexi Awards, and I know that a lot of people here is nominated. We have, what else? You are nominated. You guys, we have 2 nominations here. We have Sammy and Nikki, right?
What are their nominations? So Hexi Queen was for like Sexy Lady. Is that or Hexi Lady?
I didn't make that one. I was
what was it?
For TikTok.
Oh, and Sammy,
I thought I was going to win the Sexy Lady one. I thought I was going to be at least nominated for that one, guys.
They've got their, anyway, we all should have been on there. We're fabulous. And then Sammy, best Mexican lady of the year. Was that your category?
I know, right? I know. I can't believe it. But you know what? I don't really pay a lot of attention to it because, I mean, a lot of ladies are underrepresented. That's how I feel. I have been, you know, with Serena, Lonzi. We've been doing the show for over a year, and there's so many good ladies out there that don't get the recognition they deserve. It's nice to be nominated. At the end of the day, it's really, you know, it's not a big deal.
You deserve it. You've been putting the work in, both of you.
Oh, thanks. So, and I do appreciate it. But as I said, like, I mean, seeing so many women that aren't,
just wait until you win something. You know, I would like to say break your heart from
just so many now, which is a good thing.
Thank you, Richard.
Get your winning speeches ready, ladies. Thank
you, Richard. If it wasn't for you, I will not be here.
I want a gratitude video from you both when you win, and it better be long as well. I don't like short speeches.
Oh, beautiful.
No, I will.
I hope I don't win. Then.
Tell me I like talk. I don't want to hear, so.
Yeah, it's something fun that the community is doing. It's always great to be a part of that. And, you know, we're only growing every day. There's all new ladies coming in. And everyone's doing wonderful things, the spaces, everything, you know, even I've seen so many more women jumping in on the I Hate Richard Hart tweet, you know, because
you see
from
that?
The beginning, we, you know, it was a lot of work. I mean, you know, we would get people just absolutely, you know, trying to gouge Richard's eyes out. Calling him this, calling him that, and all the boys would get in there and tell him, you know, how much we hate him, how much we love Richard. And we didn't have a lot of ladies, but now I'm seeing, you know, the ladies get in there who are very intelligent, and really giving them heaps with backing, you know, backed by their education in the crypto market. And you know, it's fantastic to see so many ladies getting in there and standing behind Richard Hart because he deserves it. Richard's a legend, and you know he gets so much shit, and we all know that. But I guess being a founder, if you want to be a founder, go ahead, but prepare to take flack. Like everyone's going to call you a scammer, you know, even though you're not. Like Richard's not, but you know, but it's great to see. I love it. I love reading. You know, I see Bobby H get in there. I see Hexlina post a lot. And, you know, from the beginning, there wasn't a lot of ladies getting in there and standing up for him. So I think it's important as a community. People say don't engage and just bluff. But you know what? I like teamwork. And, you know, when I'm playing sport, I respect, you know, I believe in just not me representing, but the whole team getting in there. And I believe if there's something that should be said, it should be not to be provoking or for engagement, but just basically to let people know that we've got proof in what we're saying is actually correct. And, you know, to bully people is really not decent and shouldn't be accepted anywhere. You know, it's social media, not unsocial media, you know?
Agreed, Sammy. And I think this whole Richard is a scammer thing, that narrative is old and I'm ready to drop it. You know, I'm sick of people saying, oh, but isn't that a scam? And I just feel like saying, well, fuck off then and stay poor in your rat cage, because I'm just over that line of questioning. We've gone past that now. We're 2 or 3 years in? What is it? Like, it's not a scam. We're over that line of questioning, I think.
Yeah, but with a woman who's smart like you, like obviously it gets bored because you can see through it. And having to re-explain it to people who are coming into crypto is also just a pain in the bum. But I absolutely agree. I'm so over it. You know, it is getting less and less, but you've still got people in the space that will target Richard and target Hexicans. But we're very back to point number one is, it's social media, and until they can prove a point, like just STFU.
Yeah, pretty much. And I love it when people are like that, because I'm like, good, I'm not going to tell you all the great things about it because I want you to stay poor. Like, I see it as such an opportunity missed for them. And part of it, it's an interesting psychology, and we all would have experienced this with our family and friends, is that they actually deep down don't want you to do well financially, because there's an inert jealousy that happens, and it's not their own fault. It just is what it is. So we do have to do our best to be gentle with people and explain, to people patiently what Hex is in positive ways. And try not to have that just immediate reaction that I sometimes still do have. But at the same time, some people, your family and friends, are never going to come around, and we'll just have to move past that point and just be grateful for the opportunities that we've picked up.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Plaz. And I don't know if other people around here, because I don't live in Australia, but I notice in my own community, people want the best for you, but they never want better than themselves.
Exactly.
So, it comes back to that saying, like, obviously you can sense people don't like the fact when you, do a little bit better than them. And Clay, you'd be used to this. Obviously, you're in a great job. You have a lot going for you. And, I suppose that's also learning about crypto anonymity and not go preach to everyone. If you're doing well, don't tell people too much. And that's a learning experience as well, But it is what it is. And even when FTX went bust, like, as much as I thought, I feel sorry, for my heart goes out, then people lost millions of dollars, and I would not like that to be me. But a part of me thought, well, they should have listened to Richard Hart. I mean, they had that spaces with all the important people, Elon Musk included. I think it was Kim.com. I don't know, some other dudes, high profile, paying no attention to. And they're all going on like, not your keys, not your coins, like they just invented it. Like, excuse me, where's the recognition for Richard Hart when he started saying this years ago? It's not right. And in kind of way, my heart, says, well, if people don't want to listen, don't want to learn, and they want to live in that bubble, then I don't care about them. They want to be poor. I don't really care either way. Like, but I want to see all my Hexican bros and cheekers get rich,
I mean, I think he got a pretty good reception in the spaces, and I think the respect level is just increasing and increasing when Richard comes into a space, and people want to know what he's got to say. And when somebody else interrupts him, no matter how popular they are in their own spaces that are around him, everyone is just thinking, oh, stop, he's talking, like, don't interrupt his train of thought, because he'll often get interrupted mid-thought or towards the end of a thought, and we're all like, oh, we've just missed a purple, like, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, like Jim Rat. Did you see that Jim Rat got blocked by Richard Hart?
We shouldn't talk about that. Everyone loves Jim Rat.
I know we shouldn't, but
not everyone.
I think it's important.
I thought it was funny.
Important in the. Well, that's it, Hexiquin. We all have different points of view, and if you're shilling garbage, then stand to bear the consequences, basically. And we've seen it in our own community. People shouldn't be, putting garbage out the community or using Hexicans as a way to benefit from their own way. And that's what we have been seeing continuously in our community. We're seeing people using our community to benefit.
I get really upset about that. If your stuff is so good, what the heck do you have to come to our community to present it to us? Open your own space. Don't use the Hex, Pulse Chain, Richard Hart name to promote your products. If your product is so good, open your own space, and people who believe and invest in other products will go look for you. As simple as that. That's what bothers me. All the energy from the Hexicans should be concentrated right now in this moment in promoting what we believe in, our Hex, Richard Hart. If Richard Hart is being attacked or someone saying something about him, we should be like an army of people out there telling them, no, you're wrong. Use Twitter, use whatever media you have just to, defend your, I don't know, I call it my leader. I don't know what you call it, but what you call him, but or
I thought he was your husband, George.
I call him
no, it's
Richard.
my wannabe. I'm
I
his
think that-
wannabe fiance. Let's make that clear. He's not my husband yet. I am single, guys.
Okay.
Let's make that clear. So is he. He's single. He didn't say yes or anything. I'm
But
waiting for him. 5,555 days. That's how much he has to give me an answer. And in between those days, we can do anything we want. So, but I'm a Mrs. Hart.
Exactly.
I want to put that title. I'm
But
the,
you know, the important thing is here is, you know, when Richard is talking, you know, listen to what he's got to say. Don't be condescending, because there will be consequences for that. And as you said before, Claire, people don't want to hear you know, people over talking Richard, and it's a continuous thing we see. And you know, I've noticed people like to put him down. It doesn't matter what he says, but someone always says, "Oh, Richard, you know, I really love what you got to say, but I don't like the delivery." Well, you know what? This dude's got like over 200,000 followers. I'd like to see your followers and how well you deliver information. So, you know, maybe we should all take a look at our own selves.
yeah. You like the delivery
telling
when you
someone
like
they're
the
shitty.
delivery when you were watching the YouTube videos, when you subscribe, when you start following. You like that delivery. There's nothing. What, you want someone fake to come to you and give you a different person that he's not?
Oh, it's disgusting. It's disgusting the way they did that. And that's what I'm saying. Richard's underrepresented in the space, because these guys got their own financials at heart, nothing else. Richard always been for the people. So yeah, I would say anyone, be careful. I've seen people in our community bringing out their own coins. You know, we may be friends with some of those people, know them very well, but at the end of the day, you've seen Richard Hart's a very smart man. He created Hex, and we've seen Hex go down more than 93%. You know, people who aren't as educated as Richard, who are bringing out coins, be very cautious, because they're not as experienced as him, and it seems like a bit of a quagmire for people backing their own financial ideas. I don't think that's good for the community either.
Yeah, I mean, the number one play at the moment has got to be to buy Hex, and I'm just trying to reach my target before it comes out. Yeah, I mean, I think it's time to focus. And if you look at the 4 coins that have done a 10,000x in the past, there's been 4, right? There's been BTC, ETH, Hex, and SHIB. BTC is now heavy. Okay, there's 1 gone. Now you're left with 3. SHIB is owned by a lot of centralized exchanges, not people, not a community. You try to stream with someone from the SHIB community, you'll really struggle. And me and Blue do it. It's not people, it's an exchange. So, you know, see you later. And then you're left with 2, Ethereum and Hex. And which is heavier to move? Well, Ethereum's going to be heavier. Hex is newer. So
there was another on the Binance Smart Chain. Drip did something crazy like a 50,000x or something like that. But it's also something I don't like to talk about, because it's kind of shilling something that isn't mainstream. I don't know a lot about and wouldn't invest in. But they're all promise coins. I mean, a lot of them are promise coins. They might make mad gains, but you should see the losses, you know. But I'm going to have to wind it up soon, because I do have to go out soon. I do apologise. Should we go round and shill our stuff? Can you hear me? Serena Alonzi, can you hear me?
you're muted, Serena.
I was going to say, I guess that's
sorry.
Sammy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so if you guys want to find me, you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Serena Alonzi. And I'm also streaming with Lindsay on Vibra Finance. So if you guys want to check that out, that would be great. And yeah.
Awesome. Who's next?
All right, I'll go. So I've got a YouTube channel, Crypto Class. We do occasional videos, so please come along and subscribe. I've got 500 subs it would be lovely one day to get to 1K subs. I'd really appreciate that. We're bringing out an NFT project with Robert McNaughton and my teacher, Yana Vodasol-Brefi. You can see the first one behind me. So just watch my Twitter for updates on that. And buy Hex, bring your average price down. Now's the time to buy.
Awesome. Hexy Queen.
I don't really have anything to show at this time. I will, but just follow me on TikTok and share them out. They're fucking funny, or at least I try to be funny. But no, I don't have anything big to show right now.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Well, you can
Georgia.
follow me on Twitter at Carrera Georgia. I'm always in Twitter. I'm always in one of the spaces, in Twitter spaces. And I think I need to bring back Moms in Crypto. Let's see what crazy idea I can think of and pick that up. I have 39 or 36 followers. Half of those are my family members. But it's there. There's a great interview with Adrid de Grey. I call him Adrid de Grey, something like that. No wonder he didn't respond when I called his name. But there's a great interview there, and he talks about longevity. He talks about the umbilical cord. You know, when moms have babies, that's a huge investment. And he talks about if the investment is good or if it's something good or it's just something commercial. So go to Moms in Crypto on YouTube or at Carrera Georgia, and I will be there, hopefully. And I'm following all the ladies. I'm at DeFi Sexy Ladies. I am here, obviously, Discourse Syndicate. I'm like a stray dog. I'm here every day, you know, waiting outside the door. Can I get in? Can I get in? And congratulations, Havana Crypto, for their 100th episode on the what is it called? Like, oh God, the drink. What do you call it? Cabana Crypto.
The happy hour show.
Happy hour. There we go.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's called. The happy hour. So I was there. It was Corey. I'm all over the place. Just follow me on at Georgia Carrera and YouTube. I'm sorry, and Instagram and Twitter. Georgia at Carrera Georgia in Twitter and Moms in Crypto on YouTube.
And Richard Hart Fan Club on Instagram.
Instagram, Richard Hart Fan Club. The first, guys, the Richard Hart is the only person in crypto who has his own decentralized fan club in Instagram. He's the first at that too. So no one, not even Vitalik, not even the Sun guy, not even, I don't know, Satoshi has a fan club. Only Richard Hart. And it's absolutely decentralized. So go check it out. Instagram.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone for coming to watch us today. And thank you, ladies, for coming on the show. It's always awesome to see you. And Hexy Quinn, I'm glad you're back. And Claire, I'm glad you're back because I haven't seen you in a while. Follow me at Sammy Chica and hit me up if you want to come on the show and say hi. All right, let's go. Take care. And bye now. Five, four, 3, 2, 1.